everyone, and welcome back to World of Mike. Today we've got issue number 57 of Build the Eddie Stobart, brought to you by Partworks. Now today is an exciting day because we get to put the engine into the chassis, which is really good. We've got some brackets that are going to be holding it on as well, and basically we're going to be securing the engine into a position, as you can see here. And then we should have something theoretically looking like that. What's lovely about this is we get brackets that hold it basically onto these two arches where the wheel arches are. But let's have a look and see what's coming in 58. Coming up in 58, engine and chassis details, pipes, a tank cap, electrical control device, and various screws. So we get some electrical control devices there, which is really good. So obviously for this step you will need the chassis from last time that we've been working on, which is this section here. Now the engine is going to feed into this canal here. So what we have to do is we have to anchor it in, and this is a very exciting moment for many builders because this little hole is very lovely indeed, because it connects into this little hole here. So here we go. The moments of waiting, moments of working on this, we've now hit a lovely section. So we're just going to lift it in like so, watching all the details. And as you can see there, what will happen is it will link into this little hole. There's a little hole here. There we go. And that's in position, guys. The engine is in position. This is a lovely stage here. We're going to be securing that in with a DP07 screw, and that is this screw here. That's going to be secured into a position. So we'll just get a DP07 screw, and wow, we get to finally add it in the chassis, and all that months of storage, and we now have this fantastic thing. And that only took a couple of turns, and that's already in. That's that done. The next step, what we're going to do is we're going to be working on a little section that is under here, round about where that hole is just there. And what's going to happen is we have got to put at the side of it a DP07 screw, apparently, which is there. We're basically going to screw something together, apparently. So if we get DP07, according to this at the side, we should identify the screw hole, which we've done, and near the mudguard circle use a 2.3, which is a DP07, to fix the beam. So I'm assuming the screw they're referring to is this one. You can see it's anchored here, so that's going to go through this little hole here, as you can see. So we just want to make sure that it's lined up as best we can, and we're going to screw that right the way through there and anchor it on. So as you can see, this is basically just anchoring it into position. Doesn't feel like it's screwing onto nothing. Just going to see what's going on here. Seems to be going quite far way down the shaft. Yeah, it's getting tight up. Yeah, okay. Couple more turns. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Whew, that's that one. And then we're going to get another DP07 screw and do exactly the same on the other side. And the more we add to this, the more there's going to be even more weight to it. So, right, just watching there, there's a wire like literally right there. So we just need to make sure we've got enough clearance. And that's going to screw right the way through here. Should have got my Oreo for this because it's got an extension mod on it. Just 3 more. Yep, there we go. I should really get my Oreo out because this has an extension and it will make it easier. Okay, so that's that part. So we've done that and we've secured that on like so. So the next section, what we have to do is we've got these little brackets. As you can see, we've got a left and we've got a right, and we're going to use the one that's labelled R. So on here we should have an R, and you can barely see it just there, and that's going to go onto the R side, which I'm trying to figure out where it is. So we've got a, if we turn this round, so we've got that part there. What's going to happen is this is going to feed up here where these pipes are, and we're going to basically put that bracket. We've got two little pins here. It's going to feed up, but it looks as if it's going to go into the two holes perhaps here maybe. So we've got a false hole and then a hole there. I'm not entirely sure. That's going to go into there. And then what will happen is we've got two holes here that we're going to secure that in with. So this is really cool because there's pins on here as well. So as you can see, it sort of grips it into position. Now that is going to be put there because we're going to secure these in with DD or four screws. So I'm going to get a DD or four screw, which are these ones here. Just going to get a DD or four screw. Whoops, butterfingers today. And that, my friends, is going to go into that hole right there. This is a lovely issue. The last two have been really lovely. I mean, just the fact of, you know, bolting it all together. We've now finally got somewhere to store the engine, and it's in its rightful home forever, you know, and yeah. So just screw that into there. As you can see, it's going into that hole there. It's quite a bit tricky to get this on shot. Can't really try do it that way a bit. As you can see, it's going into this hole here. Need my Oreo on this really, because trying to screw in with this mud guard in the way is quite difficult, but there we go, that's that in. So that's on there like so. Just going to check that. I'll do a bit of a tighten on here. There's no reason why that needs to come undone again. As you can see, that's going to go into there, and I should imagine we've got some pins here. So there's a pin. Can you hear that clicking? There's a pin under it. So there's a little pin on there. Lovely. So we've done that. The next step is we've got obviously there's two aligned circle which I've covered, which is the screw sockets on the top of the mudguard here, and we're going to use a DP06 screw to secure that in, which are very, very tiny little screw there. So yeah, this basically hooks it onto here basically. So we're going to get that onto here as best we can. Let's just see what's going on here. There's a little hole, right? Okay, that's a pinhole. That's what that is. Okay, so we've got to pinch it and put it in. Okay, come on. Shaky hands. Could be Shaky Stevens. Now that only takes a couple of turns, which is absolutely beautiful. This is a really lovely issue. And what's nice is you've got these little things here which will help as it, you know, sticks in. Sort of helps it to balance. Whoops. And that's that one. Okay, so now we've got to do exactly the same all over again on the other side. So turn that round. And again, tip this upside down as best we can. That's going to feed into them two holes just up the back here, into there. And I believe it's a DP07 screw again. Yeah, no, DD04 screws, which are the ones over here. I tried to use the older packs up first, but I always end up using ones that come with the issue. Whoops. Really must get a smaller screw head for this. It goes in fine, it's just if my hand jolts, it knocks it off the end of the screw. Okay, so that's that one. Lovely. And we'll get another one. Screw that in. This is beautiful. I'm so happy with this chassis. Okay, so just watching where I'm handling it. As you can see, just going to secure that into that one. Okay, lovely. So that's that one in. Lovely jubbly. And we're going to do exactly the same. There's a little pin. Oh, is there a pin on this one? I think there is. Just double check it. There's a lot of creaking and cracking somewhere. Just want to see where that pinhole is. Doesn't appear. Just going to have a slight inspection here because there's a little hole, but it's not. There we go. That click is what I was after. Okay. What's lovely about this Partwork is it's a lorry, and I've never really done, people call it a wagon or truck, but I don't believe in all that nonsense. I call it a lorry. Why they call it a wagon, I don't know. But apparently that's what this type of vehicle is, a wagon. So why on earth the manufacturers call it that, I have no reason, but it baffles me. But that, if again you want to paint them, you can, but I don't see the point in that. Now this is quite lovely. We've then got to put the cab closing mechanism, which is this. This is a cab closing mechanism. So this is die cast, as you can see, and this somehow has got to fit in between. There's a hole there and a hole there, so we've got to put this in somehow, and it's basically gonna go down the salonge. Oh blimey, how are we gonna get that down there? God blimey. Oh, I see, so it must rock, because these pins don't get attached. I'm not entirely sure how that will work, because we've just fixed that in, so how the hell are we going to get that in? That's a bit naughty really, because they've told us to screw this in, but now it's going to be really difficult to get this in, because we've got to really pinch that in to get it in. Oh man. It's going. But I'm not entirely sure. Can you see? It's like, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work somehow. But we'll put it in anyway. And on the back, we've got a hole here. Lovely. Okay, so these are going to be secured in with, let's have a look here. So, DD04 again. Lovely. So we'll take a closer inspection of this. A little bit longer. Let's put that down there. This is quite a challenge to get everything to fit and line up, because wherever I hold it, I've got to be careful of all the small detailing. But if I just pinch that there, we should be able to get this in. Yeah, there we go. I'll show you where the screw hole's been after this. That's that one. So as you can see, the screw hole just goes into that hole up the top there. And then we'll do another screw hole. Sorry, another screw in that hole. Into the back of here, and that goes up the back canal here. And I'm just gonna see if I can pinch that. This one don't want to go in as per usual. So what's the problem with this one? What's going on here? Oh right, yeah, not lined up properly. Oh, Jesus. What's my bloody screw? Where's my screw? Oh man, where's the screw gone? There you go, little bugger. Okay, so let's Just trying to think. This one's got a bit of a lineage issue. Just trying to get this in. There we go. There we go. Yeah. What's all that cracking? Lovely. Okay, so the problem is now is, can you see that's, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to tilt it, but each to their own, I suppose. Just going to give it one more tighten because I don't like loose screws. That's tight. Go around here, just give it a little bit more tighten. But yeah, I'm going to leave like that. I mean, obviously, it's still a bit loose, but we can always tighten it up further down the line if need be. But yeah, but that, my friends, is really, really lovely. So that is what we're looking with, guys. Wow, what a lovely issue. So that is what we're looking at. It is now finally got its engine in. Obviously the cab will sit over this, I should imagine. Or maybe that's the back. I don't know at this point. But I can't... It's hard to say. I think maybe the cab would sit there. I don't know. Yeah, it has to sit there because that's the cab tilting mechanism. So, yeah, it has to. So the cab closing mechanism or something, but... So the cab will sit over the top of here, but don't like seeing that wobble, but it is what it is. And then obviously underneath, that's what that looks like. But this is really, really heavy now. I'm so happy the engine is finally in. You know, we've got somewhere to put it, and we're just adding bits and pieces all the time. But anyway, that is what it's looking like in all its pride and glory. It is really, really lovely. So that is issue, let's have a look here. So issue number 57 of the build, the Eddie Stobart, brought to you by Hachette. Next week we will be doing issue number 58 because I do recall I'm now caught up to date, I believe. So I think I'm up to date. So next week will be the next issue, which is technically this week, because when you see the video, it will be... I'll be putting 57 up on Monday, and then 56 on Monday, and then 57 will be Tuesday, and then I'm going to do 58 on the Wednesday. That way we've caught right up, and we should be back up to a regular copy each week, rather than this backlog. But yeah, as I said, 58 is your engine and chassis details, pipes and pipes, a tank cap, electrical control device, and various screws will be next week. That's been it. Build Your Eddie Stobart issue number 57, sorry. And I'll see you next time. Bye.